What secrets does body language tell us in Shane Dawson's Jake Paul interview? That's next. Welcome back to the channel. Derek Van Shake here. The YouTuber Shane Dawson did a whole video series on the mind of Jake Paul to partly answer the question whether or not Jake is a sociopath. In that part 5, Shane visits Jake Paul's Team 10 mansion to interview him personally. We're gonna analyze Jake Paul's body language during Shane Dawson's meeting with Jake to see what secrets we can find out.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
What is the scoop?
Sorry.
Oh, this is
Jake.
This is Katie. Producer.
Nice to meet you.
Jake shakes Katie's hand, but then gives Shane a big bear hug.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised this is like the first time we're like finally meeting.
It's really weird.
After like years of knowing about each other, I feel like. We have a lot of mutual friends too.
You see what Jake said there? We have a lot of mutual friends. He's trying to get on Shane's good side because he doesn't know what Shane's gonna publish. Jake knows that Shane has been known to make very dramatic documentaries.
A sociopath is like, they're wearing a mask.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? I'm Andrew.
Jake.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Nice to
It
meet you.
feels normal.
Jake steps back a bit after meeting the camera guy in a sign of apprehension and nervousness.
Oddly normal.
It
I
does,
was nervous,
right?
Now I feel fine.
I'm a little bit nervous.
It's understandable that he's nervous because, again, he knows Shane Dawson. He knows what his channel's about. It's about conspiracy theories, drama, emotion, a little bit of embellishment. So it makes sense he's nervous right now because he doesn't know what Shane Dawson's gonna do with him.
It's not what you think. What's up, man? Chat. I mean, if you want. Just rat chat.
Perfect. My first prank.
What's up, man? Chat.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Andrew.
Nice to meet you. What's up, man? Chat.
Wait, okay. Okay, the school bus.
Shane starts asking Jake some questions, and look at Jake's body language. Jake knows there's a whole bunch of negative things on the internet about him, his brother, his dad, so it makes sense that he's giving this self-comforting self-body hold.
So what is
Jake covers his mouth in a sign of embarrassment that he doesn't want to talk about how his dad converted a school bus into kind of a mobile home.
where'd you buy
That's my dad's, good old Greg Paul. It's actually like an RV though.
I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the bus, give you an update.
It's like you can like
renovate it?
yeah, there's like a bed in there and like he like drives around and like he just sleeps in there. My dad's a weirdo.
And then Jake calls his dad a weirdo to distance himself from kind of the weird things that his dad does.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then Shane says, I love that, but I think it's more of just a pleasantry because look at that face that Shane makes. It's sort of like, who does that?
This is a Team 10 house. This?
And pause. Look at Jake's face. What he's trying to do is hold back a smile because he's trying not to be too boastful about his prized possession here. You know, a 10,000 square foot mansion.
This is crazy.
It's crazy, right?
You see Jake sucking in his lips? He's still trying to hold back that smile because he knows what's going through Shane's head, that it's so ridiculous that such a young YouTuber has such a massive house.
How? Okay.
Finally, Jake feels he can smile and laugh about this without coming across as too cocky.
I have a lot of questions.
I have questions for you. No, I don't.
Common sign of nervousness that the interviewee tells the interviewer that I have some tough questions for you too. Clearly Jake was joking, but it was just a quick flash of him showing how nervous he really is right now.
You want to go in?
Yeah, let's go inside.
You guys want water or anything?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi! Nice to meet you. How are you? Did you guys just get here? Are you nervous?
I'm nervous.
Jake admits that he's nervous and he has his hands behind his head. If you ever seen track runners, marathon runners, what do they do when they cross the finish line? They give that pose. They put their hands behind their head. They do that so they can start calming their breathing down. That's exactly what he's doing right here. He's trying to calm his breathing down because he's nervous.
Watching you guys walk
Yeah,
around.
I'm nervous.
And it's weird because you're normally the one doing this to people, like making them feel nervous.
Yeah, because I'm normally the one with the camera.
Yeah.
More admission that he's nervous.
You've never really done anything like...
I've never I don't even talk to other YouTubers.
When they start talking about the interview and collaborations, look what he does. He gives an arm fold to kind of create a barrier between him and the interviewer in a sign of defensiveness.
I feel like they all hate me.
Jake gives a little sign of self-pity that, oh, all the other YouTubers, they hate me. The whole point of this video is not to prove that he's a sociopath or not, But if there are some things that come up that are typical of a sociopath, I'm going to point them out. I think that an interview is a pretty bad way to determine whether or not someone's a sociopath. The most effective way to determine if someone's a sociopath is to observe their life.
No, they like you.
See what Jake does? He says to Shane that, no, people like you, they just don't like me. You see, Jake telling Shane that people like Shane was able to give himself some more relative pity.
Wait,
Yeah, so it looks like the house is made out of Legos.
stone.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just say you're gonna turn this into a ball pit?
No, we were trying to like a rock wall or like a basketball court.
And like a nice couch.
Look at her.
Things in there.
This part's interesting because Jake wants to turn that big room into either like a rock climbing wall or a basketball court, but Erica wants to turn that big room into more of a normal home. But look at their body language. They're not looking at each other, which shows they don't see eye to eye on this subject.
She keeps us level.
She tries.
It's very hard.
And then look at that serious look on Erica's face when talking about keeping everyone level-headed. This is the point of contention between her and Jake and everybody else.
I don't even know where to start. Should we start at the merch store?
Look at that smile on Jake's face. He is very proud of his in-home merch store.
In your house. Did you see the sign?
Maybe some Jake Paul posters.
Always.
You put them in your room.
Did you notice the way that Jake said that you can put those posters in his room? It was kind of to laugh at that kids actually post a picture of him in their rooms. It seems like to him it's just ridiculous.
You have Gucci slides? Sorry.
No, those are mine. That's my merch.
But it's like, you know, a spin on Gucci slides.
Yeah, it is.
Or you're not allowed to say that legally?
No, I mean I could say it. Gucci sue me, bro.
Notice that he did not look in the camera very long as a sign of he was not serious and he was just playing.
I'm out here.
I tweet.
Add to the list.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see that
There's people up.
a lot of members.
Yeah, it's
Some
kind
of which have fallen.
It's kind of awkward. Hey, someone get the spray paint.
See how he has his back turned and his arms folded? People leaving Team 10 is not something he wants to talk about.
Who's still here?
Okay, we'll get to Where's he gonna go? Bro, I feel like you know everything.
This part is really interesting. Jake tells Shane that he feels like he knows everything. And look at Jake's body language. What Jake is doing right here is trying to feel out how much Shane knows about him. Because again, Jake is nervous because he knows what kind of videos Shane typically makes. So that comment of, I feel like you know everything, was for Jake to try to pry for information out of Shane. And look how Jake is holding his hands right now. He's holding them very close and tight to his body. It's a sign of being very scared. What is Shane gonna do with all this? What kind of video is Shane gonna make on me?
Oh, the last 3 weeks, I have been doing.
Now look at Jake's face and look where his hands are. There's a lot going on right here. First, Jake is showing satisfaction on his face that Shane took the bait by explaining what he knows on Jake. The second thing is nervousness with how closed off he made his body by bringing his arms all the way together. The third thing is evaluation and judgment with Jake bringing both of his hands up to his mouth. Jake is taking in everything Shane is saying and attempting to draw a conclusion on what kind of video Shane will be making on him.
The most intensive research, more than I've ever done in my whole life.
Really?
Now the look on Jake's face went from satisfaction to shocked in an apparent attempt to keep Shane talking and continue to give Jake more information on what Shane is planning on doing with this documentary.
Yeah, yes. A lot of things, we'll save most of it for tomorrow.
At this point, Jake seems to be doubting that doing this interview is a good idea. Look how Jake's body has turned away from Shane, and look where Jake's eyes are right now. He appears deep in thought.
But it's interesting. I feel like I know you in a weird way, and you don't know me, so it's weird, but I feel like I know you, so I'm excited to like...
Yeah, you sent like Erica a message. And it was like really accurate.
Jake gives Shane a compliment on how accurate his text message was to Erica, in a way for Shane to continue talking about what he knows on Jake.
Yeah.
So I just like DM'd her, which was weird, and then I instantly regretted it. I'm like, was that creepy?
No, I was like, I think it was super spot on and accurate, and like, yeah, she like definitely helped me a lot.
What he seems to be implying with that is that before Erica, he was acting pretty much like a bag, and then now he just acts like kind of like an immature frat kid.
And like, hasn't helped me like grow up, I guess, in a weird way. I don't talk about this stuff, so I'm kind of mad at it. I'm 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Jake gives a satisfied look on his face because he knows he's accomplished a lot and he's only 21.
Who's this dog?
This is Athena.
Right before he goes over to pet the dog, he pulls his hair all the way back.
This is Anthony's dog.
And then notice he fluffed up his hair. It seems to be that he's insecure about something with his hair, likely his apparent hair loss.
I don't know why.
Hi, Athena. Okay,
Yeah.
what's next?
Okay, we can go this way. This is basically, the gym is here.
How often do you use that gym? Every day?
Every day, bro.
Oh my god, I didn't say it! This is like the perfect place to say it.
No,
Not ironic.
the only time you don't say it is with
Jake is still very, very nervous, even at this point. Notice how closed off he is with his hands together and his forearms almost touching. The lack of production control in his own house, which he's totally not used to, is making him extremely nervous and uncomfortable.
Wait, what's outside? What is that?
We can go this way, yeah. Like, it's weird because, like, right now, I haven't taken, like, a vacation or, like, a break from work for, like, 4 years. Yeah. Right now, like, I'm on, like, a vacation.
For how long?
Like, a month.
Oh, that's
Right here, when he's talking about how long he's on vacation for, look at the self-body holds and also look at the self-comforting massages that he's giving his arm. It makes sense that he feels a little insecure about talking about some of this because it seems like he doesn't know where his YouTube or entertainment career is going at this point.
Yeah, just because, like, I felt like I didn't deserve a vacation or need a vacation, but, like, I feel like I'd earned it.
A little pause when he says that he feels like he has earned the vacation, likely because he's probably a little uncertain whether he feels like he actually earned it or if it's more of a thinking time for him to figure out his next direction in his career.
But that's what I love to do. Like, I love adrenaline and, like, going fast and, like, cars and, like, motors and stuff.
Are you ever scared of getting hurt?
Not really. I don't know. I just don't think about it.
Have you ever been hurt? Like from one of these pranks or stunts or videos or just in real life?
Not really, no.
That's actually very common of a sociopath to not be scared of getting hurt or really think about getting hurt. It's kind of shocking that with all the crazy stunts that he's done, he's never really thought about getting hurt. It's just one of many attributes of a sociopath.
I didn't even realize that.
What?
We like we've always been playing with fire.
So can you guys show me your room?
Yeah, let's go. Come on, Erica.
Let's go.
Look how Jake is holding Erica's hand now. He's holding her hand with both hands behind his back. It's actually a sign of significant affection.
Yes, we have fan mail.
Interesting that he calls out the fan mail as he goes up to the room, likely to give a shout out to his fans so his fans don't feel like they give him pictures and they just throw them away.
Whoa. Was this a
No, we built this. I love fish.
Interesting that Jake said that he likes fish. Someone who likes having fish tanks and likes watching fish move around is a very observant person. So it tells you a little bit about Jake.
So a lot of people think you guys are fake. But
When Erica gives her nervous laugh, she looks at Jake and then bashfully looks down, implying, oh no, not that accusation again.
I've heard from, sources.
Your sources.
But actually know you guys. It's actually real.
Yeah.
So
Notice how Erica said yeah with her eyes closed. And the way that she did that showed her emotional value for Jake.
does that piss you off?
No, it doesn't piss me off because we know.
Yeah.
And that's all that really matters. And it used to be it started as fake. I don't think it was ever fake.
Right here, I think she slips because she started out saying that it started out as fake, but then quickly corrects herself that, oh, I don't think it was actually ever fake. Of course it started out as fake because her first appearance on YouTube with him was them getting fake married in Las Vegas.
But we got married the first day I joined YouTube.
I'd say everyone who's left is just has used us.
Yeah.
More self-pity from Jake, again, a common sign of sociopath.
Because they think they can go on and do something better, and then it's like,
I don't think they realize that they use us, but when these people come into Team 10, I give them everything.
What is Team 10 now? Because I was trying to catch up and I was so confused. It was and she had a
I don't think you're the only one.
And there's 2 rapper children.
It's confusing. I don't even know what it is.
That That's pretty funny that Jake doesn't even know what Team 10 is right now. Obviously, it's not good for business if you don't have a clear direction of where you want to go. I think it's obvious why he's on vacation right now, because he's trying to still figure out what he wants to do, where he wants to go, where he wants his YouTube entertainment career to go right now.
Hey, what's Jake Paul 2?
I had a second account, but I gave it to my friend because when Chance left Team 10, he like stole their account.
That type of action shows empathy and caring, which actually implies that he's not a sociopath. However, even though a sociopath doesn't have empathy, they would still claim that they do have empathy and also try to make people feel like they do have empathy. This is why you can't judge whether or not someone is a sociopath based on what they say, because anyone could say they have empathy or make a claim they did something because they have empathy, but do they really have empathy? The way that you find that out is through their actions throughout their life.
Hey Jay, quick question. Where are you taking me? What is this?
This is a dungeon. So it's like a movie theater slash music studio.
As a person, you're not, or are you like cocky, bragging?
I think I definitely was like growing up, but I don't think I am anymore.
Right here, a chin stroke implying that he is thinking about this and making a decision. None of Jake's body language in any of these sit-down questions imply that he's lying.
100%, like, you learn from your mistakes, and I think, like, looking back, there was definitely moments where I was, like, cocky and, like, but to me, it was always, like, in a fun and playful way, and I think growing up, like, I was always like super competitive and like played sports. How it is like where I'm from, it's like, oh, like I'm the best running back, I'm the best linebacker, like I'm the fastest, and like I'm gonna prove it to everybody. And like,
notice how when Jake was talking about being competitive, he was bringing up his hands and kind of showing kind of almost a fight. To him, competition is very, very physical.
That's like the vibe of like where I'm from, and I think that carried over a little bit, yeah, into like YouTube and like becoming successful. But before, I just didn't give a shit. Like I just did whatever. It wasn't even I did whatever I wanted. Like I just like was moving a million miles per hour, and now it's just like finding the balance. Because you have to learn that there's like consequences for certain shit that you do, especially like when millions of people are watching.
Yeah.
Another chin stroke here, but it was right after he gave a nervous laugh. So it seems like he's thinking about some of his actions in the past and is trying to figure out, that's the thinking part, figuring out what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. So he's contemplating where that line is. That's the chin stroke you see there. And it seems like he's still struggling to even find where that line is. This is a common problem with sociopaths because they don't have a moral compass. Their actions are mostly based on consequences. So for him, it's kind of perplexing. He's thinking like, what consequences am I willing to accept? As opposed to, this is my moral compass. There are certain moral things that I won't do. Not what trouble is so severe it's not worth getting in trouble for.
What motivates you? What's like your main driving thing? Like, why do you do this?
Honestly, to me, like, I love to just create and like build and like watch things grow, or like post it and like see what people think about it and then like make an even better video. And so like I always just like to challenge myself and see how hard I can push myself.
What Jake described there is an obsession for growth, and that's a really, really good quality to have, actually.
You have to get in the passenger seat. Yeah, get in the front seat.
Wait, keep on up to
Yeah.
make sure.
Wait, why? What are you gonna do?
You trust me?
Do you trust me?
I trust you, Shane.
We trust each
That's
other.
why I'm not like you're. I have to trust you, you know?
Now that's a creepy stare, which seems to say that after spending the day with Shane, he's thinking he possibly shouldn't trust him and maybe agreeing to do this documentary was a bad idea. Let's play that part back uninterrupted for you.
I have to trust you, you know? Because you're just filming everything.
He breaks the tension with a laugh, but the laugh comes across as creepy and very insincere.
Everything.
And then look at Shane's face. I think he was a little creeped out by that stare and that laugh. That was not normal.
Right.
Yeah, it's wet. Your feet will get wet. Oh shit. You guys are in for a treat.
Are you ready?
Why? What are we doing?
What?
We're going
See the
off-roading
jump?
course here.
What does that mean?
Send it.
What's going on? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait, where are we going?
And and Jake and Erica want to show Shane how they have a good time. Ohio style, as they say. During this meeting, Jake revealed several sociopath traits and some creepy aspects of his personality, but also revealed some actions that would prove that he's not a sociopath. When Shane asks Jake more questions in the next interview, we'll know more about Jake. If this video gets over 500 likes, I'll analyze Shane's next video on Jake Paul. So remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll see you